guys how to play Too Sweet by Hozier on my Zager ZAD80C e-guitar. So if you're interested in this model, I do have $100 off in the link down below. I want to give a special shout out to my patrons for voting on this song as this month's patron picks. So if you want a little bit of voting power in these songs that you see me teach here on my channel, make sure to check out my Patreon page. I will link that down below as well. So here's a quick overview of everything I'll be covering in this tutorial today, and with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so to play through this song, you're going to need to know 6 different chord shapes, and we're going to start with our E minor shape, which looks like this and sounds like this. And by the way, if you don't know how to read these chord charts you're seeing on screen, I do cover how to do that in my free beginner series right here on YouTube, so make sure to check that out right here. The next chord shape is our D over F sharp. And just so you know, one way that I actually play through this song is I'll just kind of take my pinky off and I'll kind of just play it like this. So that's an option as well. The next chord shape is our G major. After that we have our D major. There's also our C major shape. Last one is our B7. And those are the only 6 chord shapes you need to know to play through this song. So go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really memorize these chord shapes, as well as practice transitioning back and forth between them, because it'll make learning the rest of the song so much easier for you. And if this is a skill you're currently struggling with, I would recommend checking out my Practice With Me playlist where we go through this skill in real time together. But once you have these chords under your belt, then we can go ahead and talk about these strummings that I would suggest using for this song. Alright guys, so as I always say, if you are a beginner at playing guitar, or you're somebody who struggles with playing guitar while singing at the same time, the first thing I would suggest doing is to bring up the song and go ahead and play through the entire thing with a single down strum on each chord change as you sing through the song. And you want to take this time to really just get used to what word you're singing or what syllable you're on whenever those chords are changing. So here's a quick example of what that would look like. It can't be said I'm an early bird. It's 10 o'clock before I say a word. Baby, I can never tell. How do you sleep so well? Alright, so that's just a quick example, but you would essentially want to do this for the entire song and just really make sure you know what word you're singing when those chords are changing. And it's actually something you do right now if you check out my Patreon page. I do have this entire guide available to download and print out, so I'll make sure to leave that link in the description box for you. But once you've done this, we can go ahead and talk about how to add on to this to do a more full strumming pattern. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at this strumming pattern. What I've done on screen here is I'm actually listing 2 different measures. So this line in the middle is just showing like where one measure ends and the other measure begins. So basically we're going to be counting this in an 1/8 note pattern. So for the first measure we have 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. Alright, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. And then on the second measure we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright? And the reason I have both of these measures on screen is because for the entire song, we're basically going to be playing these 2 measures over and over again, but using different chords. So let's go through it a couple of times, stringing these 2 measures together. We have 1 and 2 and ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. Alright, I know that might be a little confusing, so if you're struggling, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really get used to doing both of these measures together. But going ahead and moving on, something I want to show you really quick is I'm going to change this first down arrow into an X. And so what that means is we're going to chuck this rhythm. So essentially what we're doing is instead of playing like a chord, so let's say we are on our E minor chord, instead of playing an actual down strum, you kind of want to use your right hand as you strum down on the strings. You want to mute them at the same time by having the side of your hand kind of follow your strum, your pick down. So essentially we're just kind of having this like scratchy sound, kind of like when we were practicing the strum pattern, okay? You don't want to be hearing any of the notes, so it should just sound like a chuck rhythm. Okay, so if we replace that first arrow with a chuck, now the pattern with the chord in there would sound like this. We have chuck up, down, 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 up. Okay, so that's that first measure. Chuck up, down, 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 up. All right. And so basically, I think the best way to go through this song is just to take you through one little like round of it, because this song is very repetitive. So once you get one round down, you would essentially apply it for the entire song. So we already have this line in the middle which separates the two measures. Now I'm going to go ahead and add another vertical line that's dotted right here between the second and third beat of the second measure. Now what this is going to represent is where we want to change chords. So the entire song follows the E minor to D over F sharp to G to D pattern. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change to our secondary chord right at that dotted vertical line. So this will make a lot more sense if we just go ahead and do it. So I have my E minor chord down. We're going to stay on E minor for the first measure. So we have chuck up, down, 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 up. Then you want to still stay on your E minor for the first two beats of the next measure. Down, down. Then we switch chords at this vertical line to our D over F sharp. Down, up, down, up. All right? So basically this vertical line is just going to show you where we are changing chords. So for E minor to D over F sharp, we have chuck up, down, 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 up, down, down, switch, down, up, down, up. All right, perfect. Now to our next chord pairing, we've got G to D. So again, on our G chord, we have chuck up, down, 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 up, down, down, switch, down, up, down, up. All right, so that chord transition happens super quick. So definitely slow down and take as much time as you need to get the chord transition in there. Let's go ahead and finish out the round. Now we're on our C chord, and for this one, we're going to do both full measures. So we have chuck up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. And then for the last two measures, the D and the B7, what I want you to do is we're going to repeat the first measure like for both of those chords. So for D, we have chuck up, down, 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 up. And then for B7, repeat that same measure. Chuck up, down, 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 up. All right? So the whole thing goes like this, starting on our E minor. We have chuck up, down, 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 up, down, down, switch, down, up, chuck up, down, 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 up, down, down, switch, down, up, chuck up, down, 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 up, down, down, stay, down, up, chuck up, down, 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 up, chuck up, down, down, down. All right, I know this is a lot of information being thrown at you, but I promise if you slow it down and repeat it enough times, you'll get it down eventually, and then the great thing from that point is that you can apply it for the entire song. So without me talking, one time through, that whole entire round would sound like this. So like I said, you would repeat that for the entire thing. Now, sometimes in parts of the song, instead of the D to B7 at the end of the round, we're gonna actually be playing G and then D over F sharp. In those instances, you're still playing it the same way. On our G, we have chuck up, down, 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 up, and then repeat that first measure again for D over F. Chuck up, down, down, down. All right? So basically this 2-measure strumming pattern is going to apply for the entire song. Now the last thing I want to talk about is the fact that this song does go a little quicker than we're going. So once you get the up and down motions and you feel like you've kind of started developing some muscle memory on the rhythm, then you want to go ahead and speed it up a little bit so that it sounds more at tempo. So at tempo it sounds more like this. Do that's just a quick example. And you know, as I always say in all my tutorials, this strumming pattern is just kind of a more simplified version that I think you can do as a beginner. But of course, if you find yourself struggling to keep up with this pattern, or you find yourself adding ups or downs wherever you feel like it, I always recommend to go with whatever your body is naturally feeling. That's going to give you the best chance at developing some muscle memory so you can sing on top of playing. So if this strumming pattern isn't working out for you and you want to do something similar but not quite this, totally go for it. In fact, when I play through this song, sometimes I do ignore a few of these up and down strums. So that's just my 2 cents for that. But this is basically the strumming pattern that I would recommend using for the entire song. All right guys, so go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to really get that 2-measure strumming pattern down. It can feel a little bit more like an intermediate pattern. Don't worry, you just have to practice it really slowly and then start to build up your muscle memory from there. But once you get that strumming rhythm down, I actually wanted to show you that little like kind of bass line that you can hear throughout the song. I found a really super simple way to play that on the guitar. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about that little solo tab you can add into your cover. Alright guys, so for this little solo tab, it is going to be a little bit different than the original song just because they play it, I think, like more on like a bass or something. But this is a simple way that you can do it that we don't have to change anything. We can still have our capo on and everything like that. So first of all, if you don't know how to read guitar tabs, which is what you're seeing at the top of the screen here, I would recommend checking out my How to Read Guitar Tabs video. It's like a fun little interactive video I made in case that's something that's new to you. So go ahead and watch that first, but once you get back, we can talk about how to play this tab. So we're starting here on our bass E string, but with the capo on the 3rd fret so that we're still in the same key as the chords that we played, okay? We're going to pick this low E string 3 times, and then 3 times again. All right. From here, we're going to take our index finger and put that on the 2nd fret of that E string, and we're going to do this 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so far we have O, 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 2, 2, 2, 2. Right? From here, we're going to take our middle finger and put that on the 3rd fret, still on the same string. We're going to do this 6 times as well. So we have 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay? And then we're going to finally go to our next string over, our A string. We're going to pick that twice open, and then use our index finger to play it twice on the 2nd fret. Okay? So the rhythm is the same so far. We've got O, 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 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, O, O, 2, 2. Okay? So here in the original song, it goes back down an octave, but in order to keep this really simple, we're just going to keep going up, you know, in the walk up. So from here, we're going to use our middle finger to go on the 3rd fret of our A string. And then again, the rhythm's the same. We have 6 in a row. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. And then here's where the rhythm changes a little. We're going to do this last pickup. All right. So essentially, we're playing this 3rd fret 8 times. We've got 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, and then from here, we're going to hop 1 more string over to our open D string. That's 3 times. O, O, O. And then here, we're going to play it 1 more time, and then hop back to our A string on the 2nd fret with our index finger. And we're playing that 2nd fret 4 times. Okay, so we have... All right. So the whole thing is going to repeat throughout the song, but a couple of times through the entire tab without stopping sounds like this. And then one more little tip is when you're playing this solo, if it's starting to ring, like the strings are ringing too much, just take your right hand with your pick in it and just stop the strings by muting it. All right. right? And that'll give it more of that punchy feel to make it sound more like the original. But anyways, that is an easy way to play through this little solo line, and you can add that into your cover wherever you like. Alright guys, so again, go ahead and pause the video and take as much time as you need to look over this little solo tab, get it under your belt. This one's pretty simple if you are new to picking individual notes and doing solos and things like that. So definitely give it a try if it's something new to you. But once you get back, we can put together everything we've learned in this tutorial today to play through the song. 1, 2, ready, go. Jamming out to the rest of the song with me? Yeah! So make sure to check out my Patreon page where you can unlock access to this as well as all my other fast track and play along guitar tutorials. I'll make sure to leave a link for that in the description box down below. If you enjoyed learning this song with me, then you should definitely check out this video. Not only does it have a super similar vibe and feel, but it's just as fun and easy to play, so I'll see you over there.